Welcome back to the new video in Excel ChatGPT. Here we'll understand how to generate a sample data for Excel using this ChatGPT option. Now, if you're an aspiring data analyst or if you're an instructor or a teacher or a person who works with the data day and night, now this is something for you. Now, usually to create some dummy data because we want to practice on creating reports and dashboards or we want to practice about the SQL, it takes a lot of time. Searching on internet takes a lot of time and you don't get the right relevant data which you want. Using ChatGPT, you can demand that the type of data you want, the data types you want from this particular tool. Let's try to understand. So I'll ask them 3 questions, not more than that. You'll get an understanding about how to get the answers. So first question I have is, I'm using the version named as 3.5. I also have a version which is ChatGPT 4, which is a paid premium version. I will also show you the topic. So first question I have, create a dummy employee data set for practice purpose. So I'll just press enter. What it'll do is it will create a data into a CSV format. Okay, so I can just copy the data from here, go to the Excel, and I can just paste the data in some other location. Maybe here, I can go to the other sheet, Control V. Now this data I have got it here and I can just copy paste and I can do some changes over here. However, if I want to ask them some other questions, okay, now this was about just 10 records. I can demand that create minimum 100 records. Okay, so you can ask them create minimum 100 records. It will obey the orders what you give him. You can also tell them create 30, 40, 50, 100 columns. It will still do it. You tell them the data should be interesting. The data should not be John, Phillips and all. These are very boring data set. So I can tell them data should have, right. Now see my demand. When I'm training someone, I have to make it little interesting. So the question here is the data should be of the famous characters which are available on the Netflix and Amazon. And those data sets should be from mostly from India. Because when you tell people about John, Phillips and Mike, they don't get interested. But now when I ask them, make it little fun, little interesting for my learners. Now, if you see the data which I have got will have the Indian touch, will have the Netflix characters and all. So when I open this, when I copy this data, okay, let me copy this data from here. It's creating 100 records. So let me, yes. So I can just copy the data, come back to Excel, and here I can just paste the data. So let's understand the data set. So first let me split the data in text to columns and the delimiter right now. Delimiter for this data set here is, I can click on next, it's a comma and click on finish. So what are the character names? Let me just zoom the screen for you. It says Raj Malhotra, Simran Singh, Vijay Sharma, Pooja, Kabir Bedi, Kabir Singh, Sultan Ali Khan. This is the name of the character here. Bobby Deol, Dev, and so on. This one, Raju Rastogi and Farhan Qureshi. These are some famous names you might know. So, to make the learning more interesting rather than John, Mike, and Phillips, you can ask GPT, give me the right interesting characters of movies, of games, on people, and so on. That is one part. Now, what I can do is I can ask them some advanced question here, Control C. So please observe, I'll create a new chat and I can go to Chat GPT 4 and that's a code interpreter. Now, code interpreter is an add-in which is freely available for the premium users. GPT 4 cost $20 per user per month. So I'll go for code interpreter. Now, the question which I'm asking them is, I'm a student who wants to practice data on Power BI and need data set on HR domain. Create 10 columns, 100 rows of employee information. Data should have inconsistency and I should have a scope of cleaning the data first before analyzing. Now, this is something which is real-time case study, everyone, where I want to clean the data first, then I want to go for data visualization. Keep the data for the Indian market related and download the data in Excel format. So, it is so smart. This activity took me around 4 hours to actually create data and my people used to take 2 to 3 days. But using this chat GPT in less than 120 seconds, depending upon the speed what you have right now, less than 120 seconds, this data will be created in Excel and you can just download that link directly and use it for your learning purpose. This was time consuming. I used to take 4 hours. There are many people who used to take days together to get the right answers. I have got the data for employee, HR employee. You can get data for Netflix, Amazon, cricket, volleyball, politics, weather conditions, Uber, Ola, Domino's, Flipkart, anything. So you can choose what exactly which domain you want to work and you can pick up that. As a aspiring data analyst, you get the data, do the project, put into your resume. This is a project done on dummy data set. So if you observe here, the data has been created successfully. Here are the first few rows, which is okay. Now it is trying to give me some data set. This is the data which is Priyansh Bhatt, Amira Bhatnagar, Amani Ahwalia, and so on. And here it says, as you see, the data contains inconsistency and missing values, which is what I want, right? I don't want the learners to get the clean data and start creating just visuals. Many people think I can just click on download. Many people think that just creating column charts and pie chart makes you a data analyst. No, a proper data analyst will know everything. Okay, most of the things the person will know. So if you observe here, this is the data set which I have. Carefully observe. This data set contains inconsistency, which have some blank records. Okay, if you see, there's some blank cells as well. Some places you might find some spaces, unwanted data, date formats, and so on. So if the data is not up to the mark, you can again request them to get the right answers and right data set. This is how you can get the answers from ChatGPT 4, the latest version, which is a paid and premium version. Now, this is just a start. I've just given 3 questions. You as a person can ask them many questions, get the maximum output usage of this tool. It is not going to take away of jobs. It is definitely going to boost the jobs of those people who are more creative, more hardworking. It is a support system. But there are some people who are just doing a redundant and repetitive work. That is something which you are in danger right now. But use this tool to support your work and make your work faster. So I hope you have understood how to generate the sample data from ChatGPT, and that's all for this video.